Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about Warren Buffett and why he believes that people won't make it into 2025. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Um, as you know, I love candles and we're going to get this day started on the right note. Please make sure to subscribe as I give you this amazing content. And I appreciate you all for tuning in. So Warren Buffett states that most people won't make it to 2025, and for good reason. So we all know that next year in 2024 is an election year. And I don't like to get real political, but the Fed has stated that they don't plan to lower interest rates until 2026. Now, Warren Buffett has also stated that real estate is a bad investment. However, most people don't use real estate as an investment. This is where your brain has to come into play. Do you understand how real estate is truly used? Well, it's typically used for rentals, for those who don't want to own, and for home ownership, right? The American dream, right? And so when I say rentals, I'm talking about big apartment buildings. So that's really owned by one person. So you have multiple people living within one space who are all renters. And you have your group of people who actually own or have a loan on their home for their space. This candle was a gift, so I love things like this. But when it comes to real estate, we all have to understand that just like the stock market, just like businesses, it can all be manipulated, not only by the federal government, but by the people in power and by the people, the average American. Why do I bring that up? Because with the increase in rates, we now have certain people who have an interest rate of 8%, 8.05% to be exact, as of the making of this video. And that is what putting 20% down. Now, if you watch me, if you listen to me, you know to put 10% down if you want the lower or lowest interest rate that you can get. Because a lot of people think that 20% gives you the best interest rate, which is not true. However, 20% will give you a better price than 10%. The interest rate will not be better at 20% than 10%. So that is something to take into account. Even with PMI dropping off, 20% will give you the better interest rate if you do that right away. With that being said, there are people who have adjustable rate mortgages. They are in trouble, especially if they are owning these adjustable rate mortgages on rental investment properties or big buildings for, a business. So for example, if you have a clothing store and it's on an adjustable rate mortgage and you were paying 2 and 3%, now your costs have gone up exponentially to where you're going to be paying 5%. And then the next year, 6-7%, because it can only go up so much depending on the mortgage that you got. It will be capped that it can only jump up maybe a half a point a year or a half a point every 6 months. Whatever the case may be, you'll get these incremental adjustments to where it's like, oh my goodness, I might need to think about selling. I might need to think about refinancing out of this. I might need to think, because the expenses are going up. Meanwhile, your profit isn't truly going up as much as you think. And some people may think that this is going to quell or settle down inflation. But on the other hand, we see the price of goods and services still going up rapidly. And it may be to account for the increase in costs that will soon hit the market for these businesses in later years. You see, we're going to feel it now and into the future. However, the businesses are going to feel it a little bit later and they're preparing for that accordingly. Similar to these gas stations who are cutting back on oil production, they now have to think about how they're going to live their lives when more electric vehicles, when more things start to occur, right? They have to be ready for that shift. They have to be ready for that change. And so they're taking countermeasures. They're rising or raising the cost of the service for gas and oil production in order to shelter that loss that they'll eventually be feeling as a whole. And so that's just a few things to take into your mind and understand that, you know, we as a consumer may be feeling this right now today, but over time we're definitely going to see that more people, more businesses, more households are going to be impacted by these changes. And those changes are going to affect your everyday employee, it's going to affect your owner, it's going to affect everyone. And they may not feel it right away, but they will in the coming years. So Warren Buffett has estimated that 2025 will be the year for that. And it is hard to see how that will not be the case, right? We're going to be looking at 2025, 2026 as a year where things are truly going to be hit hard. So in 2024, I personally believe that I was wrong. I thought that it was going to be impacted so much sooner. I thought that by the end of 2023, we would be seeing a lot of change within the market. I thought that by 2024, the government and the Fed would be forced to lower rates. And obviously, the Fed has taken a different stance and approach to where they believe they won't be lowering it until 2026. So they're willing to let us go through that pain when all those loans go up for renewal in 2024, 2025. And they're saying not until 2026 will they actually ease off the gas and start to trickle it down a bit. Now, of course, things can happen to where they have to pivot and they have to start lowering interest rates sooner than later. But the Fed has been honest and true to their word thus far. And so I'm going to believe them when they say that they're not going to lower rates until 2026. And in fact, they believe to up it at least one more time before this year's end. And so we can expect that the average interest rate will be right around 8% going into 2024 and 2025 before we start to see it go down from there and maybe settle right around 6 or high 5s by the end of 2026. That is my prediction. You can hold me to that. High 5s would be very, very generous. So I hope people don't start cutting up this clip and thinking that they're a genius if it lands in the 6s. I do believe it will land somewhere in the low 6s rather than the high 5s. So if you like this video, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube and on Rumble, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.